All right, so what is conscious or unconscious rather? Childlike state, my childhood memories have been intense. Wow, yeah, I also feel like someone asked me earlier how I've been finding, because I've not been seeing private clients, and how I've been finding having some downtime this April. And I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's been work, like, but like on me, like really having to see, feel, and sit with myself and go through the roller coasters and feel really untethered from my routine and disconnected from the things that feel like my usual forms of well-being, and just a lot of deep diving and having to sit with a lot and dealing with trauma and generational shit and family stuff, and it's been work. Okay, and the main thing that Spirit's been saying to me is you don't get to avoid this by being dope. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not interested in you working and doing great things in the world right now. Like we said, sit with yourself. And I'm like, I've been sitting with myself. Still more sitting? Okay. Cool, cool, cool. All right, Chakra Tarot, I'm feeling. That came through quite clearly. For what is unconscious that needs to be made conscious. I've been fantasizing about a man falling in love with me and saving me and fathering me lately. Whew. I done told you no one's saving you. I know it's gonna happen, but I know it's not gonna happen, sorry, but have enjoyed the fantasy. Maybe your inner child needed a minute. Well, I'm not gonna lie, release and self-worth is for you. Release the fantasy. You got it. You can rescue yourself. All right, deep breaths. I'm not going to read your messages because otherwise the devil's going to come through the cards. What's unconscious, Spirit, that needs to be made conscious? Whew. Well, it's hardly unconscious, but yes, in some ways, this isolation period that we're being in is bringing up a lot. Okay. What's being dragged up in this isolation? Oh, perception. I like that. And the rest reverse for you as you're seeing it, about perception. Prayer, interesting. I'll talk about the cards in a second. Interesting. I might get the book for a couple of these. Hey, what do they say? You don't get to just be in the world and be great. And not that I'm never going to be great. I mean, I already am. Okay. But it's like you don't get to hide in that. You don't need to get to construct your whole identity out of that. We'll come to it. All right. So, yes, social distancing, isolation, even for those of you who are like physically in a busy home, okay, it can be feeling like isolated from people you actually want to be around. No shade to your families and stuff, but there is a difference. It's why, if I'm being honest, no shade to my family, I always hated Christmas. I did. I was just like, why is it these holidays are when you're forced to be away from people you want to be with? No shade. I was just like, so you mean in this whole holiday period, I don't get to see any of my friends or any of the people I want to spend time with? So I feel like there is this energy of physical isolation for some of us, literally being alone. Others, it is having to be away from people we want to be with, whether that is to keep them physically safe, right? We don't want to expose them, cause illness, we don't want to pass on the virus. Okay, so it can be that. It can also be just a distance. I know a lot of people are substituting with electronic connection. Doesn't really work for me. I don't like it. But trying to use FaceTime, etc., etc. But it can just be feeling that lack of touch, that lack of tactileness, that isolated energy. I don't need to explain it to you. You know what isolation feels like. I am wondering why. I need to read the guidebook, and I'm not going to do it now because I'm not a guidebook dependent person. But no shade. But I'm wondering why the picture is a suit. That shall be a mystery I shall solve later. So we do have perception, and okay, I should note. I won't. It's okay. We have. My granddad has a trap phone. It's a struggle. We have perception here. There's definitely distorted perception. This is also coming back to what I was saying when we're trying to move into something else or create something else, and maybe even see for a lot of you in terms of what's been happening with your jobs right now, whether you've been furloughed or you're still having to work or you're having to do double the work or whatever it is. It can be like the conditions that you found yourself in. Not this deck. So yes, with the job situation, feeling, and it might just, I'm using this as an example, apply it as it resonates, but just not being able to see what comes next, okay? So whether you're just going through changes that there's a lot of uncertainty, and not just because of the global uncertainty, but I mean for you, even in terms of your own decisions around what your path looks like down the road, like what's possible for you, what you're capable of doing. I'm just gonna get a little bit more on that. Yeah, Page of Pentacles, the builder energy. So you're actually unsure about which direction you can build in. It's not even so much what you want. It seems like you're wondering or struggling with what is practical given the circumstances you find yourself in. Five of Swords, because things are literally falling apart. These cards are weird. I'm going to tell you why in a minute, the chakra cards. I like them, but they're odd. The illustrator has got an interesting mind. Yeah, so this is how you feel. Page of Pentacles, Five of Swords, right? I don't understand really how to make my dreams practical or what is truly possible, but what you should be doing is like a lot of grown-up energy here. You know when I said you can't be the baby lamb? Look at this. It's actually very similar. This is a maturer take on it, okay? So the Emperor card here is visionary, Aries energy, and the Knight of Pentacles is plans and strategies, but you actually need both, and you need actually to focus more on the bigger vision, less on the possibilities at this point. So right now you're quenching or killing the seed because you're weighing it down with what's possible. And I feel like, first of all, before you give yourself the if it can, if it can't, I don't know if I can, get the vision straight, okay? Get the vision, and that includes affirming yourself, right? That includes seeing yourself. You know how I can say I'm absolutely dope? Like, I don't have any doubts about that. That is not something I struggle with. Okay, so that is Emperor energy. Like, you need to be like, oh no, I got it. Like, I've definitely got it. Affirm it. You need to see the vision, and you need to see yourself sitting in the vision. You need to see yourself in the center of that role, that relationship, that space, that purpose, that gift, whatever it is. When you can do that, then you can do Knight of Pentacles, right? Then you can be like, what is the practical next step on the path to actualizing this? And really, next step is the most important question. It's not all the steps, and this is the thing about timelines as well. A very difficult lesson I had to learn is that things change, okay? Things change, particularly as you make choices, other people make choices. It's like a moving Rubik's Cube. And so you don't need to have the full 90-step strategy for the next 10 years. You need a complete, detailed in many ways, but a strong sense of vision in yourself in it. And then you need step one, only step one. And when you've done step one, then two, then three, That's it. Because also the choices that you're weighing up at step one, okay, choice A, choice B, once you've moved into them, the next set of choices can be very different. So you can't, especially in the conditions we're currently in, you honestly can't workshop your entire life right now. You need to take things step by step. And I really have a little bit of a headache doing this. She shall hydrate. A very, very, very long time ago, very long time ago, very long time ago, I used to be the kind of person that said I didn't like water. Ooh, the shame. Imagine. I didn't know no better. Okay. Now she loves water. Okay. Prayer. Okay. Let me see what you lot be saying in these comments. Spirit telling you to be grown the F up and put on your big girl pants. Yes. You're being read from Phil because you need to hear it. The read hurts entire collective head into A&E right now. Good. We got this, man. We got this. All right. The prayer energy. Give me a second. On the crystal or two. Crystals also matching the colors on the cards. I'm trying to see if I can show you. I love an aesthetic matchup. The prayer is the path opener. You know, I'm saying the illustrator is a bit weird. I understand what they're doing here. I don't know how well you can see that. I'll bring it as close as I can. I don't know. They want you to drink lemonade while having this prayer. The illustrator does. Anyway, sorry, I'm not even being shady. I'm not. Okay, look, the process of prayer. You've got this path here, and you've got another path here, and it does seem like this path is almost coming out of the lemonade cup. Let's say, what I feel like is prayer is a road opener. Yes, it is. It's not even feel like, I'm telling you that as a fact. It's a road opener. It's not even just intention. It is part of the creative essence. You know, like in biblical terms where it said God said let there be light, like that form of speaking something into existence, and in whatever way you need that to be. Do you know what I mean? For some of you, it might not be manifestation or affirmation in some of the ways you see it. It is powerful still, as I do sometimes when I come on live, to pray, to speak to spirit, and to request and give intention to what you want to be created. That is opening the road. It is giving energy to also many of you as the, so I showed you had Empress card earlier. As the Emperor, you do have command and authority over yourself and what you want to make with your life. And when you do pray, it's like you give instruction to the general. Sorry, everybody. Let me speak clearer. For everybody, when you pray, you are calling the timeline into existence. You are given instruction for that timeline to be built. For some of you, you are spiritual masters, right? Like, even if you've not tapped into that yet, it's still in you. And that form of prayer, you don't even know the spirits you command and the angelic, and not just angels and like Michael. I literally mean spirit. I'm using angels as a term for many spirits right now. How they respond to you, you don't even know that. But listen, you don't even need to know right now. Trust me, okay? Trust me and pray, okay? Pray. Prayer changes things, as the elders say. Also, on this perception card, there is a butterfly. We had butterfly earlier. Butterfly and a dove. So again, like I said, it is about consciousness and spiritual perception, not so much about physical transformation, or more so that the physical transformation cannot come before the consciousness shift, right? Okay. In the beginning, there was the word. That's right. We got to speak it. We got to speak it. Don't be afraid to pray. Even if you've left, certain religious traditions or whatever, the right to pray is yours. Listen, this vanity card actually how it came through is dependency. So spirit just wants to just keep dragging you all. It's not me. Like they just want to keep dragging you about your lack of maturity. No one's doing this for you, not even me, okay? No one is. There's no great grandfather healer person that's going to come into your life and make it all better. Nobody is doing it. No one. It is a form of vanity to believe that someone will. It's also I'm really my vocabulary is very restricted today for some reason. It is a form of, I'm going to use very basic terms then, propping up somebody else. Vainglory. To expect them in any way to save you, in literally any way. The right to praise yours. Thanks for the reminder. Absolutely. We do have some more clarity on those energies there. Some of you want to be rescued because of this bittersweet energy. It's what I talked about, where it's like there maybe has been a lot of disappointment, failures, letdowns, just a hard road, a hard path that you've walked. This is also feeling to me like wanting to be parented, and really there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to lie to you. There's nothing wrong with the desire to be parented, especially if we feel like we were not adequately parented, if our parenting was disrupted or interrupted. Okay, that's okay. But the re-parenting work is ours as well. Many of us, our parents are never going to be the vision or version of themselves we want. And I'm not even saying that as judgment. They have their own paths, their own journey, their own karma, their own way, their own stuff. Some of them are loving us the best they can. And sometimes it's still not enough. Okay, so we have to reparent ourselves. And that is the bittersweet aspect of this, actually. That is the part. We have to be parent and child at once. It is also that sense of you will be the one to rescue yourself. I'm going to skip passion and come to workaholic. I'll come back to passion. Okay, so some of you are avoiding the creative process by trying to work really, really, really hard, okay, on what you already have. And you're also believing that more effort, more time, doing the most is what is going to get you to the other side of things, and it's not. The only thing that all of that work can do is dig you deeper into the path you're currently on. If you want to level up, create more, go bigger, be more in alignment with yourself, tap into your purpose, move into not just your purpose in terms of what you desire in terms of pleasure in this world, which is legitimate and valued or valuable, but also your purpose as a spiritual being, your multidimensional purpose, okay, doing things beyond this plane. If you want to do that, I'm telling you now, the work isn't how it gets done. This is. Someone said Teddy Riley vibes, you're not doing the most. So that's a great example. So you really need to simplify, actually, and you need to recognize the power in rest, okay? Not even in just in the creativity of it all, like, regeneration and having new ideas when we rest, but also the power that comes from, we talk about this a lot, but allowing, it's also just knowing what's not your part. And there are some things that aren't your part. There are things that have to be constructed and built and worked on. And, like I was really thinking this today because, especially when it comes to co creation, you can sometimes get frustrated with other people's timelines, right? Like wishing someone could hurry up and understand something or make a choice or, just rushing another person's process in your life. And when I tweeted about the 2 years it took me to leave my PhD and I allowed myself to tap back into those emotions today, it gave me more empathy because I was like, I really, really struggled with that decision. And it wasn't that I didn't know 2 years prior that it was dead. Like, I was not that person anymore. I just couldn't relinquish it. I just was holding on to it so tightly and also trying to force myself to live the completion of it. So it had ended. I knew that in my soul, but I was like, let me just let it end externally in the way I want, and then I can move on. And all I did was like drag myself through the coals for 2 years. And so it made me realize if that was my process, I really can't judge others for taking their time or needing more time to come to levels of understanding or peace about things. And so the same goes for you in your life too. Know that there is time, like if there's patience required, there is almost a learn the non-activity, learn the pause, learn the bit that's not yours, where you allow others to do their part, to paths to be created, right? Like it's not all you, and it's not, you can't drive everything forward yourself, right? You can't make everything happen because you want it and it's on your timeline. It legitimately does not work like that, even though I wish it did. Whew. So you all need to be cured from workaholism, and I talked about this a lot last year. So if you weren't listening then, I guess you're really feeling it now. Okay, a forcible chill. You've all been put on a timeout. We have passion here. I'm going to clarify it. I know what I thought, but I'm going to ask. Even that is vanity, true. Passion. It is vanity. Oh, help us, Lord. Passion. Do you know what? I'm really glad I clarified that. It's a slightly different message than what I was projecting onto it. Look at God. Look. I love to see it. Love it. All right. So the passion card actually is an extension of what I was just talking about, right? When we are passionate about something, we want something, we have a vision, maybe we're good at it, right? Like we already have the skills, maybe. I can be like that. Like when I'm ready to move, I'm ready to move. Like when I'm ready to create, I'm ready to create. Once I've got the idea, I'm gonna bang that out in the next however many hours. Like, and if you're working with others, they might have a slower process, and I'm like, oh, but you want to like do it now. So this passion that we can use to bulldoze others, okay, this is also part of the problem and part of what's coming out of the vanity energy here. We have the temperance card, the need to balance alchemy, right? What we are, our part and others' parts here. Three of Cups, community. A lot of what we're doing, we don't get to do alone, okay? It involves others and it should involve others. And that it sweetens the pot, it richens the work, it deepens the work. But in so doing, we sometimes have to bend or amend ourselves, or like I said, slow down, or sometimes it might be you need to speed up, or whatever it is. There is a balancing act or a way to find how to come together to create this equilibrium of how we work with one another. And when I clarified that, we've got the Page of Cups with the Star card, right? Our willingness to give with the Page of Cups, pure heartedly to Aquarius energy here, the collective, to the community, to the seeing the bigger goal, the bigger vision outside of just ourselves, right? Understanding as she stands by this water behind her, that the bigger vision, look at what's happening with this water here. It's feeding so much. It's a whole ecosystem. And that by making herself available, giving herself over to community, she is part of the ecosystem of that vision, of that dream, of that rebuilding of a more equitable earth, right? A society that is in the view of what it can and should be. Then was the lovers. Okay, that's the path, that's the goal, that's the energy, that's the vibration, that's the path we want to walk together. What I just felt there was like literally God's kingdom on earth, like how we bring literally God down to earth is through ourselves, through our bodies, through our relationships with others, through our capacity to embody love and to move in loving ways. And love not just being like, oh, you make me feel so nice and I feel so good around you, but love also being discipline and justice, okay, and anger and boundaries and all that good stuff. And if we don't, we want to force the situation, 5 of Wands, and force our vision and push things, then Spirit is saying this is what you're asking for. Pain, disappointment, hopelessness, ruin. And then, of course, we cycle right back to the, never works out for me, everything's so hard, I've had like all of these disappointments in life. And Spirit's like, I know. Yes, you have. So listen, let's do things differently so we don't end up in the same place. All right, let me read some comments. Ooh, I always start pressing things I don't need to be pressing. Why does this sound erotic? Because you want it to, honey. It's vanity to think we can do it all alone. We're part of something way bigger. It's beautiful. You love this, gorgeous. Love this honesty for sure. Shut the front door. I just blogged about this last night. That's what's up. You're all feeling it. Your giggles when you're dragging us. You know, I love to just, keep it light with a laugh. It is also just funny because normally it's also me. It's me too. It's me too. Okay,